And Republican Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida. He's a member of many national security committees, and he was at CENTCOM just last Friday getting a briefing on this. Michael, this problem didn't develop overnight. This has been building for a while, ever since the prime minister was killed about 18 months ago. So now you have a full-blown crisis where you have people who are desperate, who are going to leave, and they're, as I said the other day on the 5, it's not like they're going to be walking across the southern border with Louis Vuitton suitcases and neck pillows like some of the people we see. These people are actually starving and in fear of their lives. What did CENTCOM say?
Well, actually, Dana, I was at Southern Command down in Miami. And look, there's two critical issues here. One is the safety of our embassy and the thousands of Americans that are trapped in many cases away from the embassy and can't transit through these gang-run areas to get there. So that's one piece. And then the other piece is the potential for a mass migration. And Florida's coastline is actually longer than the Texas southern border. And so on the one hand, I do think the military is positioned to get our embassy out. But if they're going to get every American out, meaning we need to send helicopters or convoys through these gang-ridden areas, that is going to be a large military intervention that the White House is going to have to order before it devolves into absolute chaos. And that's what we're looking for. We can't do what we did in Afghanistan, which was just wait until everything was taken over and then try to introduce our forces. And then, look, where I'm more concerned is handling the mass migration. The Coast Guard is surging forces down there, but we have yet to see a Coast Guard request to the Navy and to the Pentagon for them to put military assets down there.
So we
just can't have
you would need the commander-in-chief to...
We just can't have a surge like we're having in our border. That's right.
So you would need the commander-in-chief to make that request. We also talked to a couple yesterday from Indiana. They're trying to, well, they have adopted 2 boys who are there in Haiti. And I understand the State Department is meeting with adoption agencies today, and I'm sure in Florida you probably have constituents who are in a similar situation. Do you think that gets solved?
I don't know how and when that gets resolved. To be honest with you, this is a broader issue of temporary protected status. What are those reforms that we have to get put in place? And we've been clear, at least in Washington, we have to secure our borders, we have to secure our coastline before we start talking broader reform.
All right. Well, they'll be looking to the White House to see what they say today on adoption agencies. Before I let you go, the House committee that you're on has been looking into the withdrawal from Afghanistan and an investigation. And a headline from the Washington Post caught my eye today. It said, forget about Biden impeachment. Watch this particular investigation to see, what's happening. So can you tell us in a nutshell, what have you found or where this is going?
Well, I think what's going to come out of today's hearing, Dana, is that Biden ignored the very sound military advice of 3 4-star generals, his commander in Afghanistan, the commander over all of the Middle East, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who advised him to leave Bagram Air Base, which is the only base in the world sandwiched between Russia, China, Iran, and a platform to keep a lid on terrorism, and to keep a small force there that of special operators and intelligence professionals that would keep the Afghan army fighting. And then secondarily, once Biden made that decision, the State Department waited way too long to evacuate our embassy. In fact, they thought the embassy could continue going and that the Taliban wouldn't go after our allies, U.S. citizens, and our embassy. And that was the fundamental issue, that we pulled all of our military out before we had our allies and our civilians out. Once they had to go back in, once the State Department reversed that decision way too late after the fall of Kabul, then that's when disaster and chaos ensued. To get these generals to validate that on the record in front of these Gold Star families, I think is incredibly important.
Congressman Michael Waltz, thank you for all of that. We could keep you for an hour, but we'll let you go. Thank you.